All right. Take action challenge number 20. Back once again. 20 challenges in. We have a reoccurring interview here with James. James has a shirt on that I think we're going to name this. Yes, James, show your shirt. Seek discomfort. So this challenge, we're actually going to name it Seek Discomfort, because what we're going to be talking about today is doing some challenging things in our life that don't necessarily involve social confidence. So, but may bleed over into our social life, our confidence, and much more. So, I'll pass it over to James now to talk a little bit more about that and anything else he'd like to say on the subject.
Yeah, hey everyone, I'm James. I was in a previous video and I'm here in Nova Scotia in Canada. I guess over the past year or so, I've been really trying to get out of my comfort zone and try a lot of new things. And I found a lot of that's been really helpful for me just in building confidence and that kind of thing. Um, I guess one thing I was going to talk about in particular is actually doing a trek through Nepal, doing some solo traveling through Nepal, and doing a 12-day trek to Mount Everest Base Camp, and doing like some bungee jumping as well, and just some various things like that. And that's one thing that really jumps out for me in recent years, just doing independent traveling. It's really getting out of my comfort zone, like seeing different cultures and that kind of thing. And I felt that's been one of the things in my life that's really built up some confidence in other areas of my life. So I think that's yeah. So
James,
that's
can we talk about that Nepal trip for a second? Because that sounds like a pretty life-changing event. How did this all come about, and what did you get out of this trip?
yeah. Well, I guess I went on that trip just right around when I was graduating from university, and I was feeling just kind of like bored with how things were going, like just sitting in classes all day and writing and that kind of thing. And I decided to do something that was just really different and outside of my comfort zone and see some of the world. And so I just kind of thought of what's the most unusual and kind of like crazy seeming thing I think I could do that was different than what I've done in the past. And I just doing some online research and whatever, and that's just one thing that really jumped out to me. And I just found the kind of like the logistics of planning a trip for yourself is really confidence building. Like knowing you can rely on yourself to make those financial decisions and plan your schedules, and then actually take action and go somewhere by yourself in a different country. And yeah, I just found like I came back from that with more confidence. Yeah, I guess that was my main takeaway from the trip. Just that I had felt like I had more confidence afterward.
Uh, that's fabulous. Yeah, it kind of reminds me lesser trips, but solo trips nonetheless. The trip I took to Phoenix a couple of years ago for the behavioral group, that was quite a challenge, and I must say I really found that confidence enhancing, as well as the solo trip to Cuba, which we talked about before. It's not something I would have done in the past. I always travel with friends or family or my significant other. So, like you were saying, it's a confidence building to see that you can just plan this solo trip, do it, rely on yourself, and that confidence kind of spreads over into other areas of your life. So, yeah, I find little, and it don't even have to be trips. It can be little things. I think some things we've talked about in the past have been things like maybe roller coasters is one we talked about, where it can be scary, but you can do it and get over your fear, or could be anything. It don't have to be social. It can be some people it's driving a car. So just little things to seek a little bit of discomfort and kind of see that you can handle the challenge and get outside of your comfort zone. So yeah, that's definitely um, beneficial, I think. But what I guess I was thinking, and we were talking a bit earlier about this, but some challenges we can take on, as part of this challenge. Is there something you think that you might like to do in the future to challenge yourself a little bit and get outside of your comfort zone?
Yeah, well, we were thinking of some ideas earlier. Like, it seems like a lot of my ideas have to do with traveling, which is it's kind of hard to do international traveling right now. But one thing that did come to mind was an idea from a list that we found was being acting as though you were homeless for like 48 hours. That's something that really sounds like a really big challenge that I'd like to try. Like just kind of live in, yeah, like as if you're homeless for a couple days. I think it'd be a really build your empathy for other people, and like help you appreciate what you have in life. Like yeah, so that's one thing that's, yeah, I think that would be a really valuable challenge, just to appreciate all the small things in life and empathize with more people with people more. So yeah, I'd like to do that sometime soon.
I love that one, James. That one works on so many areas. Like you were saying, not only does it tackle your confidence, but it also builds empathy, and you're putting yourself in someone else's shoes, and it probably builds your sense of gratitude. As a lot of the things we take for granted in life, running water, hot showers, a hot meal, that type of thing. So that one is sounds like a fabulous challenge. I was also thinking one that we talked about earlier that I was thinking of doing was a just a solo overnight camping trip. I haven't done a lot of camping in the past, but when I have, it has at least been with one other person. So just the idea of going out in the woods overnight. I'm sure there's a couple of fears that'll come up in my head. What if I freeze to death? It's not totally warm here yet. What if a wild animal um, walks on me or something? I don't know. But I guess every time you hear a branch break, there's that little pang of anxiety. So that one has been one I've thought about in the past and almost followed through on one time, but at the last minute, I decided against it and went on home. So I think I will put that down as a challenge for myself, and hopefully on a one of the, I guess, later challenges, I can uh, I can talk about whether I achieved that challenge or not, and you can do the same. But I think they're both good challenges. Both of them can get us outside of our comfort zone. We're definitely seeking discomfort when we take on those challenges. So yeah, I think that's a great challenge. Yours especially because there's some other things involved as well, and I really like it. It's actually something I'd like to do in the future too. So I may uh, once I hear your feedback on accomplishing that challenge, I may put that on my list for the future as well.
Yeah, yeah, I like your challenge idea too, so I might have to do that one as well. So yeah, yeah,
Excellent.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
Any final thoughts, James, before we wrap this one up?
I guess just really thought it was a good idea you had for this challenge, because I think we tend to focus on the social aspect so much that there's so many other areas we can look at too that'll build confidence. And so it really got me thinking about what are some things I want to do that might not just be like these kind of social challenges, but some more like challenging myself in other ways. So I think I'll definitely put more thought into that and other challenges we can do too. And yeah, it was a good idea.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks. I'm going to do the same, and I encourage everyone watching the video or taking this challenge to also give us some feedback and provide some challenges you think you'll take on. And like I said, we'll keep you updated, and anything that I guess anything other challenges, how we did on this challenge. So this is 20 challenges in, and we're still going strong. Thanks again, James, for agreeing to take on this challenge with me and talk a little bit about it, and also for following along on the challenges and really taking the heart and doing some great challenges yourself. So thanks again, and we'll talk to everyone real soon.